let's get going to the Baddie of the Week tournament. You all know the rules. I went over them last week, but let's um, let me remind you of the rules. The Discord server is where all of the submissions get sent. So if you haven't joined the Real Wrestling Community Discord server, check the link below and you can join that server and be a part of selecting who gets picked for this weekly segment going forward. I decide the rankings as I'm preparing for the show on Saturday morning. My ask is that the photos that are selected and posted are as current as possible. And just a fun note here, these are my rankings as I'm going through the selections. And use that comment box below. Comment your rankings. We got 11 participants this week. And this was a tough battle, a tough thing for me to rank because they are all wonderful women, and they all could win and on a different week. I'll put it that way. If you want to be a part of this, join that Discord server and put in your selections for the Baddie of the Week tournament. Let's get going. Like I said, we got 11 contestants, so we're starting with last place, 11th place. And like I said, any of these women could have won on any given week, but they're all stacked together this week. 11th place goes to Tiffany Stratton. It is Tiffy time. And I'm going to be honest with you. Of all the blonde-haired wrestlers, the blonde women in pro wrestling, Tiffany Stratton is probably, to me, the least attractive. I think when you're battling Mariah May or whatever her new name is going to be, Liv Morgan, some of the others that they have, like Tiffany Stratton's kind of mid to me. If I'm being completely honest, not to say that she isn't a beautiful woman, but she's kind of mid when compared with some of the other women. With all the women that are in this showdown this week, to me, this photo was the least, I guess, appealing or attracting to me personally. Let me know, did I rank her too low in the comments below. Let's get to 10th place. It's going to be Kathy Kelly. She posted this photo from Monday Night Raw, I believe. And look, like I said, all of these women could have won and just sacked up 1v1v1, 11 women in a box. She just draw the 10th place draw this week. Still a good photo. Even to be considered for this, you know, it's still a good moment. But hey, Kathy Kelly, 10th place. Let's move in to 9th, where we have Ty Mello, who makes her in-ring debut after what seemed like several years out of pro wrestling. Out of AEW, she showed back up at Fyter Fest, all caked up on a Wednesday night to help her friend Anna Jay. I'm excited for Ty Mello to show back up in AEW. And she looks great while doing it. She has the mom bod. She's rocking it with Sammy Guevara and their child, and it's looking fantastic. But 9th place compared with some of the other participants this week. I can't wait for her match next week. Tajay versus Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. Let's move into 8th place. Here it's Queen Amanata. She showed up at Fyter Fest to run off Tekla, of all women. And I'm excited to see where this feud goes. And she is rocking it in 8th place this week in this competition. Queen Aminata is an underrated wrestler and, in my opinion, an underrated baddie. She doesn't get the recognition some of the other women do for her looks. She looks fantastic, and she was going viral, I think, on social media because she was saying she wanted tit pics, not dick pics, but tick pics on social media this week. She is 8th place on this week's episode. Maybe she can go up and down the bracket next week. Let's move into 7th. 7th place this week is Kairi Sane. And there's one thing I need you to know about me is that I have a soft spot for Joshi wrestlers, and like Mina Shirakawa, Kairi Sane, Io Sky. To me, they have a hidden beauty between uh and themselves. The Asian wrestlers, they just have a soft spot in my heart. She gets 7th place. The mystique of this photo, I don't even know what Kairi Sane is doing in WWE. I'm so far gone off of watching the product, but she is a wonderful woman that I wish one day can wrestle in AEW, if that's a possibility. I don't know if it is or not. Let's move into 6th place here. We got Julia Hart. And I mentioned earlier with Tiffany Stratton, like when you compare Tiffany Stratton with some of the other blonde women in wrestling, like I think Julia Hart blows Tiffany Stratton out of the water. Hot take, maybe. She sits 6th place though in this tournament. She the goth look is the perfect look for Julia Hart, and she sits 6th place. We move into the top half of the bracket now. We're in 5th place, and it goes to Megan Bayne, who this past week just turned 27, I believe, 27 years old, celebrating her birthday, and she gets 5th place for this photo. She wonderful photo. I can't wait for, like I said, a Tajay versus Megan and Penelope Ford. It's going to be a really good match, and excited to watch it next week at Summer Blockbuster. Hey, Tony Khan, let's get us some more women on the show next week. But that tag match will be great, as we're, I guess, exploring alternatives and how we can implement the women's tag division. I don't know. This is a good photo, though, for Megan Bayne. Good enough for 5th place in the tournament. So let's take a pause here for a moment. That means Indy Hartwell's at least in the top 4. Can she retain the real wrestling community Baddies champion? Well, let's move into 4th place. Well, it's Mara Sade. Sade, I think is how she pronounces it. She, the woman formerly known as Jakara Jackson in NXT, is going by Mara Sade in her new wrestling world. She has an absolute wonderful look, wonderful appeal. When she released her video proclaiming like she's coming to the indie scene a week or so ago, I thought AEW, like she's not going to be a main play star, I would say, in AEW, but she could play a part in building a stable with Mercedes Moné and maybe like the Renegade Twins and building a really dominant heel women's faction. She has that look to me, and she gets 4th place. Speaking of Mercedes Moné, she gets 3rd place this week, rocking the Beyonce look. Looking like Beyonce in this photo. Cowboy Mercedes. Hey, she won another belt in Austria this week, a couple of days ago. She is now, I think, 5-belt Moné, looking to just collect all the women's gold around the world. When she said she wanted to build a global women's revolution, she wasn't joking. She's going anywhere and everywhere. And I think she has this like underrated appeal, like beauty appeal. I think she's a really good looking woman. I think people just hate her because how she left WWE. That's just my opinion. But she gets 3rd place, which leaves 2. That leaves 1 new opponent. And it leaves Indy Hartwell, who won the competition last week. Does she retain the RWC Baddie Championship, or does she lose in her first title defense? Well, let's move into second place. It's Indy Hartwell. She's going to lose the belt. And this was a tough decision for me because I love Indy Hartwell. She is aesthetically everything that I like. And so yeah. But Indy Hartwell, there was one other photo that I saw that I was like, yeah, I think this is the winner. I think this beats Indy Hartwell, and I'll show you that in a minute. But good running for Indy Hartwell. She now has to climb her way back into the tournament next week. But the winner and the woman that is the new Real Wrestling Community Baddie champion is the OG Baddie. She has a song literally called Baddie, and she won this week. And that is Miss Layla Gray. Congratulations. Mwah. Muy bueno. Muy bien. What a wonderful photo by Layla Gray. She is the new Baddie champion for this Real Wrestling Community. Hey guys, if you enjoy this segment, let me know how you feel about it. Let's move on into